everybody, peace and harmony here with you here today. The recovery date. How do you best work the recovery date and really detox from the narcissist or the psychopath? Chances are, depending on how long you've been involved with the psychopath or the narcissist, you have engaged in a tremendous amount of behaviors and time spent in ways that really aren't best serving you. Things that really were, all in the name of love, all in the name of fun, yet they're really now working counterproductive to you and your life. So what are some things that you can do now in the recovery dates? These are dates that are to be conducted by you once a week, taking about 2 hours out just for yourself. Not grocery shopping, not doing things for the kids, not attending to PTA meetings or things like that, hanging out with your friends, going for coffee. The recovery date is for you and for you alone. To take yourself out and really begin to explore and cater to that inner child or that inner wounded you that had encountered and exposed the narcissist and the psychopath, and really cleansing your life of some of the activities that they had kind of established within you. I find that a lot of people who were exploited by them have certain experiences that are very scarring. And these have created quite a bit of wounding, quite a bit of depression. It's difficult for them to get out. It's difficult for them to show their face. It's difficult for them to go see their family, go to their workplace without crying. Quite a traumatic unfolding there. And so what we need to do is we need to kind of re-nurture that wounded part of us. And begin, there's a tremendous book called The Homecoming. It's by John Bradshaw, and this was out in the 80s. And it talks about parenting your inner child, and I know you've probably heard about that. And it's very helpful, especially to people, survivors of child abuse, who have had to grow up too early before their time, where they maybe had to take care of a parent. The parent was a narcissist, an alcoholic, drug abuser, or sexual abuser, and that child just did not get the parenting and love that they needed. And as they grow up in life, as they grow up in their childhood, their teenage years, and into their adult life, they constantly feel like there's something lacking, there's something missing, and they feel a huge void. They feel a huge sense of shame. They feel like they're always an outcast. They feel like there's always something missing. They feel like there's something wrong with them, and they can't quite put a finger on it, and the feeling just doesn't go away. And oftentimes that's the wounded inner child. We've all heard of it, maybe by, Dr. Phil or Oprah, who else has maybe made it popular. But the truth of the matter is that there's a person in there, there's a soul in there that's hurt, that is wounded, okay? And depending on where you are at your stage of the journey, the wound is still really bad, or the wound is getting better, or the wound has gotten re-injured, and we're acting out again, or we're continuing to attract these people in our life again. We do not need to go through another narcissist, another exposure. I mean, it's just like one or two, I'm good. I've had enough. I mean, I can't go there anymore. It's not how I can live my life. There's something wrong with that, especially when you see others who are living their lives happily ever after. I mean, what is up with that? There's something that needs to be corrected. So I would recommend, getting that book or something similar and studying a little bit about that. But I think one important tool I'm going to recommend here is that recovery date. And what does the recovery date look like? Well, it's looking back at your recovery journal. Some of those things that you really want to do, be, or have, and looking at a couple of those, and now engaging in the activities that will lead you closer to accomplishing those goals. So if you have not done the recovery journal yet, you need to do those things and begin to start making your list. In fact, a lot of people even recommend keeping a vision board, which I do also, which is keeping a poster or something in your home, where you have an image of something that you want. I mean, let's say you want a watch. Let's say You know, you want this beautiful watch. Well, you go to your magazine, you cut it out, you post it, you glue it on your poster. You want this new red brick house. So you go to a magazine, you cut out a picture of a house that you like, and you put it in that magazine. Let's say you want, you know, a beautiful walk along the beach. Well, then you take a picture of that beach where you want to be, and you know, you glue it to your vision board, your poster board. This is your vision board. So I would definitely recommend having something like that for yourself if you've never done it. I would definitely recommend that maybe being part of your first recovery date is going and getting, you know, 3 to 4 magazines. They can be brand new magazines or they can be old magazines, and cutting pictures out from there and of the things that you want, and getting yourself a glue stick and a scissors and a typical poster board that you can pick up at Walmart or the dollar store, and, you know, cut out at least 10 to 20 things that you would like to be, do, or have. And they can be words along with pictures, and you're going to put this up on just a poster, and that's going to be your vision board. And you want to keep that in front of you because it's going to be a constant reminder of what it is that you want in your life and that you're working towards. And this is yours and yours alone. These are things that you want to be, do, or have, and as you keep pictures of these in front of you, it's going to help bring these about and help these occur in your life. So it's a very positive exercise, a very positive activity. I don't know why this isn't always, you know, taught in school or college, but it definitely should be. So I would recommend getting a vision board, and also partaking in that recovery date. So looking back at that recovery journal that you have started, take a couple items from those, and once a week for 2 hours, undisturbed, I want you to take yourself out on a recovery date. So as I was mentioning, that John Bradshaw, the parent and child relationship, I want you to be like the big person, the adult, taking out that wounded inner person, that wounded girl or that wounded boy, and taking them out and taking them to the places and activities that they really want, but without relying on somebody else. So what would that wounded person really want? Is it good treatment? Is it humane treatment? Is it to feel love and connection? Then maybe part of your recovery date would be going to a pet store and going and just petting some puppies. You don't have to buy them, you know. You can just go and go to look for them, and that would be part of your recovery date. The next week, you know, you might want to go to an animal shelter and just go there to observe. Go and pet the animals, talk to some of the people who work there, and get around these sort of healing people. You know, maybe you have always wanted to become, you know, if you look at your list, you wanted to become more religious or have religion become more part of your life. So go to a new church, even if it's somewhere not in your area. Go ahead and just go there and observe, and, you know, make this part of your recovery date for that week. Other things, like let's say, you know, you had a lot of trauma around eating and you've been eating inappropriately. Take yourself out for a healthy meal. These are all activities which you can be done on your own, but not to be meant as isolatory, but they can just begin to help get you stronger and on your feet again. Because I know that oftentimes after exposure of the narcissist or the psychopath, we can have like sea legs. It can be like really wobbly. It can be very painful. I know this. I know this to be the case. I had severe, absolutely severe and profound racing thoughts, the emotions, you know, but you know, I had been gaslighted so bad, I had been brainwashed so bad, the exposure was so clear. I think you have to, once the exposure is so clear, you know, you can't go back, and you have to find the tools. That's your absolute #1 priority, is to get yourself healed. Period. End of story. And happy. Yeah, it's got to be happy. That's how life is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be what you've just been through. So, newsflash, right? So, those are some ideas of what the recovery date is going to look like. Other ideas, and you can jot your own down, but it's going to the zoo, it's going to the park, it's going to the museum, it is going to the cooking class, it's going to the library, it is volunteering, it is going to an old folks home, it is going to a local college, it is taking a painting class, it's taking a ceramics class, sewing class, a felt making class. Maybe you want to learn photography, calligraphy. Maybe you want to learn scuba diving. Maybe you want to learn about marine life. Maybe you want to learn about another culture or another language. Maybe you want to learn horseback riding, you know, the equestrian arts. These are all different areas that you can delve into, and once you begin to recover, I think this can really help speed up and really build upon your recovery. Once you start beginning to go on these recovery dates, it'll just start to expand and give you a little bit of sense of peace, securing and secure and growth, security and growth, and you'll beginning to relax a little bit again, and that is very important for you at this stage of the game. So please let me know how you're doing with this, how your recovery dates are going, and subscribe for more great tools, videos, and discussion.